In the small, quaint town of Hollow's End, rumors of a shadowy figure terrorized the residents for decades. Children whispered about the Hollow Man, a specter who lurked in the woods, preying on the unsuspecting. Adults spoke of disappearances and gruesome discoveries, but the authorities never found the culprit. The town seemed cursed, and fear hung over Hollow's End like a dark cloud. Among the residents was Emily, a young woman known for her kindness and gentle demeanor. Emily lived alone in a charming old cottage at the edge of the forest. She was beloved by everyone for her warmth and generosity, always offering a helping hand to those in need. But Emily carried a deep, haunting sadness, having lost her parents in a tragic accident years ago. Despite her outward cheerfulness, she often felt a gnawing emptiness inside. One stormy night, the power went out in Hollow's End. The howling wind and the pelting rain created an eerie atmosphere. Emily lit candles to ward off the darkness, their flickering flames casting dancing shadows on the walls. As the night grew deeper, a sense of unease crept into her heart. She couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. She tried to distract herself with a book, but every creak of the old house made her jump. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. Her heart pounded as she approached it. When she opened the door, a man stood there, drenched and shivering. His eyes were wide with terror. "Please," he begged. "You have to help me. The Hollow Man is after me." Emily hesitated, but her compassionate nature won out. She invited him inside and offered him a towel and a cup of tea. The man introduced himself as David, a traveler passing through town. He spoke in hushed tones about the horrors he had witnessed, describing a figure with hollow eyes and a malevolent grin. Emily listened, her unease growing with every word. As the night wore on, the storm intensified. The wind howled like a banshee, and the rain battered the windows relentlessly. Emily and David sat in the dim light, the tension between them palpable. Suddenly, there was a loud crash from the kitchen. Emily gasped, and David leaped to his feet. "I'll check it out," he said, his voice trembling. Emily followed him into the kitchen, her heart racing. They found a window shattered, glass scattered across the floor. Outside, in the pouring rain, stood a figure cloaked in darkness. Emily's breath caught in her throat. The Hollow Man had come. David grabbed a knife from the counter, his eyes wild with fear. "Stay behind me," he ordered. They backed away from the window, moving towards the front door. But as they reached it, the figure outside vanished. The house fell silent, the only sound the pounding of their hearts. Emily's mind raced. Could the Hollow Man be inside already? Suddenly, David turned to her, his expression changing from fear to something darker. "You know," he said slowly, "I've been running from the Hollow Man for a long time, but I've realized something tonight." Emily's pulse quickened. "What?" David's grin was twisted, almost manic. "The real monster isn't out there. It's been right here all along." Before she could react, David lunged at her with the knife. Emily screamed, dodging just in time. They struggled, the knife glinting in the candlelight. Emily's terror transformed into a fierce determination to survive. She managed to twist the knife from his grasp, turning it on him. David's eyes widened in shock and fear. "Please," he whimpered, "don't do this." But Emily's face had changed. The gentle, kind woman was gone, replaced by a cold, calculating predator. She smiled, a chilling expression devoid of any humanity. "You shouldn't have come here," she said softly. With a swift motion, she plunged the knife into David's chest. He collapsed to the floor, his eyes glassy and lifeless. Emily stood over him, her breathing heavy. The storm outside began to calm, as if sensing the end of the night's violence. In the eerie silence that followed, Emily cleaned up the scene with meticulous care. She dragged David's body to the basement, where the remains of her previous victims lay hidden. As she descended the stairs, a sense of satisfaction washed over her. The emptiness inside her was momentarily filled. Hollow's End would never know the truth. The townspeople would continue to speak of the Hollow Man, never suspecting the true monster among them. Emily returned to her cottage, her serene mask back in place, ready to greet the world with her innocent smile. In Hollow's End, The legend of the Hollow Man would live on, but the real horror was far more insidious, hidden behind the face of an innocent.